All right, today, quick update. I'm working on the Jetstream side skirts, as you can see over here, and I've already mounted the bottom brackets. I'll show you guys how this is mounted so you could do the same thing to your Miata or to your car in general. I'm not sure what cars you guys are driving, but I'm assuming it's a Miata. So I got this tube right here. This is a square tube, basically, and it's mounted to the bottom of my side skirt. So first, you take the side skirt, you mount it up to your rocker panel, and then you put this tube, and then you run the bolts right here through both into your rocker panel. Now I did that so I could attach the side splitter right here where the riv knot is. That way I can have the side extension and the side skirts all installed in one. Pretty ingenious because people were asking me how I attached these guys. These are the side extensions, basically like a splitter for your side skirts. And I'll kind of show you how it's done after I cut this up. Now, when I say cut it, I actually just need to sand it down a little bit. Here's the annoying part with some JDM parts. Even though they're super high quality and they're awesome, they're not ever perfect. This is the leading edge facing the inner rocker. So you can't actually see this, but it's kind of annoying. As you can see right there, those things actually are not straight. I mean, that tube is straight, so you know the tube is fine. But if you go all the way down and you look at it, it's not perfect at all. See that? Let's get a little closer. As you can see, the tubing is straight, but everything else is kind of random. I mean, this is just hand cut, but I mean, I swear, they should have probably taken a little bit more time on cutting this. As you can see right there, it's a little bit wavy. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna take my orbital sander, and this guy is right here, and we're gonna use an 80 grit paper and a 250 after. Whoops. Good thing this thing's not painted yet. And sand it down a little bit. This is an orbital sander right here. If you're fixing fiberglass or straightening out things, then this is a huge help. 80 grit to knock everything out, and then 220 to smoothen things down. So this is pretty easy. We just have this area right here that's pretty high. Got nose mask on, but this area that's pretty high, this lip, we're just gonna knock all that out because it's not straight. I mean, the tubing is straight, so I know this side skirt's off. This is something that you won't be able to see, but it's gonna annoy me if I don't do it now. All right, nose mask on. You guys get the idea. So I'm gonna do this and then come back when it's done because it's gonna look all the same. All right, done. Took about an hour to do everything, but now it's good to go. I didn't really like the way it was before. And if you have a Jetstream product, they usually have a sticker on there. So check this out. Right here where we had little bumps, now it's gone. And you can kind of tell by looking at it in this angle. So you can see if you look down the whole tube, you see that it's perfectly straight. Here's the other one that's already been done. And then we also sanded down this side right here because when you have this installed, you can pretty much tell if this thing's wavy. The table is kind of jacked up, so there's gap over there, but as you can see, let's see if this thing focuses. As you can see, it is perfectly flush with the table, and that's what you want. All right, so anytime you work with fiberglass, you always want to make sure that you test fit first. You always want to test fit because it's easy to fix things now versus fixing things later after you've painted it. So what I'm going to do here is I'm going to take these guys apart because they're bolted together right now. I'm going to disconnect the tube from the side skirt, and then I'm going to mount them up on those rivet nuts, and then test fit this side, and then disconnect this first, and then make sure that that's exactly how much I need to take off. I need to take off about 1 inch off the bottom right here. All right, so I'm gonna get one bolt. I'm gonna push it through here, put on the last hole, and then I'm gonna mount the last bolt here first. That way I know it's semi-lined up. Telling ya, this is difficult to do with one person, so if you have help, that would be awesome, or just use your feet. I'm trying to use my feet right now. I forgot how hard this was to align by yourself. Okay, so there's one. All I gotta do is get it started and we should be good. There you go. One started. Hopefully you guys can see this. Sorry, it's kind of difficult to do this by yourself. So I got one there. And then over here, I'm gonna get one, but I need to disconnect the fender bolts first because I mocked this up earlier. I'm telling you, if you have help, this would be 50 times easier. But right now, I'm doing things by myself. So the idea is to get the first bolt in and then get the last bolt. Then you can line them up and then put all the other bolts in. Okay. Perfect. Take this guy, push him through here. Then this one should line up with the fender holes, if they're being nice. Sometimes you kind of gotta fight these two. Mind you, you're trying to connect 3 pieces at the same time. Okay, so that guy's connected. We could semi-tighten this up. Okay, I'll show you what I'm doing here once this is all lined up. Kind of difficult to show you right now while I'm fighting with this bolt. It's not completely lined up yet, it's getting there. And then I also had to push this fender in to make sure it's properly lined up. Okay. So a lot of things need to go right. Okay, so that's on. We'll skip a few here at a time. So since I'm installing this side skirt onto the Rocket Bunny setup, the area right here that's kind of touching the fender needs to be trimmed, because see how it turns right here? I'm not sure if you guys can see that, but it turns right here and it's touching this area a little bit and it's preventing me from fully installing this side right here flush. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna take about 2 inches off right here. So I'm just gonna go like this. All right, so I need to cut this blue strip off right here. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna drill a hole right here where this dot is and then follow that line all the way down, because you don't want your corner right here to be exactly 90. That causes stress right here and it could crack. So when you have a rounded area, it's even better. Right, got extra old microfibers here so I don't make a mess. I like my little carpet things. And we're just gonna cut this thing. Right, here we goes. Hopefully, I don't jack anything up too bad. All right, here you go. There you go, we made space for our side skirts. That should fit now. So we're gonna put it all back together and then test fit again, and then we could cut the fenders. And this is why you need to test fit everything, because you never know until you put it together and that stuff won't fit. If I just painted it and slapped it on, I would have had a lot of problems. So we're gonna put it back together and see what happens. Now it sits perfectly flush all the way across. Basically a thickness of paper, actually. So that's as good as I can get it. So you can see right there, it's mounted up, pretty damn solid. Now I wiped that down because I just wanted to look nice in the video, but it's actually gloss black. It's just black gel coat. So if you have a black car, it matches pretty well. So you probably might not even have to paint it. But as you can see, the fenders are missing right there. That's an episode for tomorrow. I'm gonna cut that up a little bit on the bottom and then make it fit better. But as you can see, the side skirts are on. The gap, let me zoom in a little bit, is insanely tight all the way around. So you go all the way out there, it's as tight as it is over here. So look at that. Look at that. Insanely tight. Go out there, tight, 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 all the way over here. It's tight. So again, this is why I like to buy legit parts, because they fit so nice. I know I'm like a freaking broken record when I repeat this a million times, but dude, it's so much easier to fit good quality parts than, say, spend more money fitting a shitty replica. So imagine if I paid, what was it, $300 something for this? Imagine buying a $150 version and then you need to pay a body guy another $150 just to fit, you know, the piece right. Then you basically just gone back to, you might as well just bought the real shit. So look how straight that is. That sanding job earlier made a huge difference. And like I said, just because it's a legit part doesn't mean you had to, or you don't have to put any work. You have to put work regardless, but just a lot less. Now for the guys curious how the wheels look, they're installed, they're right there. And as soon as this Corona scare is done, I should be able to drive this thing. Let's punch in a little bit closer. Boom, look at that. So awesome. So tomorrow we'll continue with the fender cut and reinstall. And then we take it all off and then drop it off at Felix's place to get it painted.